Suicide gets whispered about, and no one ever pulls it out of the dark. And I think that the name of this event is absolutely wonderful because it's out of the darkness. It's a disease, and it keeps growing because it's kept in the shadows. I can recite statistics, I can tell you how terrible and tragic this is, or I can tell you a story. But I hate to keep you out here in the sun. I can laugh now because this has been a really long journey for me. In grade school myself, I was made fun of, and I was treated as a less than because I was severely dyslexic, and I got driven around in a little bus instead of a big bus. And instead of seeing it as a setback, for me it was a setup because I got this larger-than-life personality, and I learned how to meet people and cope with different kinds of situations. And by the time I got to high school, you know, I was prom queen and I was very popular, but through all of that, I was very, very alone. And I always felt like I was in a shadow, even with all the people around me that loved me. And so I can come to you today and I can tell you that I've been there. I've absolutely been there. So I realize now that I struggled with depression for a huge part of my life. And so when my husband took his life earlier this year, on May 22nd, people asked, how could he have done this and nobody even known? How could he smile at everybody every day and hide this huge secret that he had inside? And I can honestly say that for me, my whole world's been turned upside down, but at the same time, I know where he was, and I know how he could have done it because I did it myself for years. And then the people that know me now, because when I decided, when that light turned on in my mind, and that's what has to happen, you know, you have to search inside your soul and you've got to grab onto that light. And when that light finally turned on for me and I decided that I wanted to live, the last 13 years of my life have been absolutely extraordinary. I love everybody. I love everything about life. I enjoy the birds in the morning. And it's something that has to happen inside mentally. I went through a lot of counseling. I went through a lot of depression pills, you know, and a lot of contemplating. And here I am. Here I am. And it's really not about him anymore. You know, it hasn't been that long. It's only been a few months. But in order for me to go on and not to want to be another statistic, for myself, for my children, and for all of the survivors out here today, we're left to pick up the pieces. So let's get on with living. Thank you.